Hey kids, week 6, day 4. And today's reading passage is called The Short-Term Impact of the Zebra Mussel Invasion. And it goes from pages 608 to 616. All right, and this is from the American Museum of Natural History. Zebra mussels first appeared in the Hudson River in May of 1991. Within a year, scientists estimated their numbers had reached 500 billion. An enormous amount. In fact, if you had a huge balance and put zebra mussels on one side, they would outweigh all of the consumers in the ecosystem combined, all fish, all zooplankton, worms, shellfish, and bacteria. Phytoplankton and zooplankton populations dropped sharply. Before the invasion, scientists developed computer models to predict the effect of the zebra mussels. But they were still surprised by what happened. By 1992, there were so many zebra mussels, scientists estimated they were filtering a volume of water equal to all of the water in the estuary every 1 to 4 days during the summer. In the years right after the invasion, phytoplankton fell by 80%. Zooplankton, which eats phytoplankton, declined by half. And the smallest zooplankton, called microzooplankton, fell by about 90%. The food web changes. In the next few years, the data supported their hypothesis. Scientists made their findings too. They observed that the decrease in the phytoplankton and zooplankton had effects that rippled throughout the food web. With less food available, there were fewer and smaller fish in the open river. The population of native mussels, which also eat plankton, shrank from more than 1 billion to almost none. But some populations increased, likely due to the change in the river's turbidity or cloudiness. With far less phytoplankton, the water got clearer. During the summertime, visibility went from 3 to 4 to 4 to 8 feet. Since sunlight reached deeper into the water, rooted aquatic plants such as water celery increased by up to 40%. Populations of fish living in these shallow weeds increased. Another surprising result was that dissolved oxygen in the river fell by about 15%. The drop wasn't enough to endanger any aquatic animals, but it was still a huge amount of oxygen. Scientists think the enormous zebra mussel populations were consuming a lot of oxygen very quickly. At the time, the mussels were removing the phytoplankton that produced oxygen. Questions about the long-term impact? What happens once an invasive species becomes established in an ecosystem? The invader's population might evolve to adapt to its new home, or native species might evolve to better tolerate or even feed on the invader. Or other species might arrive that are more resistant to the effects of the invasion. Once scientists had a clear picture of the invasion's immediate impact, they started to wonder about long-term consequences like these. All right, vocabs next. We got quite a few. See you in a minute.